Hello everyone, so we are going to be playing a second round of the Edgy Eevee deck. And before I get started, I just want to take a quick second to show off this really cool Eevee copy that I found. It's the exact same as the other Eevee, it's just it's got different artwork, and this one, Espion, is green for some reason. Alright, but I don't think there's been any major changes beyond that, so let's just go ahead and get a game in. Alright. I do have another deck in the works at the moment, but so far it has been nothing but bad luck after bad luck, so I don't know. I'm thinking it's because it doesn't have the consistent functionality that this deck does, or my Salamence deck does, and I'm trying to figure out a way to work around that, but I'm just not having the luck I need. Alright, I want a coin flip, so we're going to go second. Alright, so my opponent has to mold. We only have the Eevee that you have to hard evolve. So, I'm not a huge fan of that, but you know what? I've dealt with worse. Alright. Okay. Our opponent had to mold twice, apparently, so we get 2 free cards. And they are apparently taking some time to pick their upfront active Pokemon, but well, if any luck, I think what we're going to do is we're definitely going to be playing Pokemon Club since we're going second as our first card, and we will use that to go get some Eevees because we don't have them on the bench. And then we have the Umbreon in hand, so I think we're going to be evolving our first Eevee into an Umbreon. I prefer to start off with Sylveon because Sylveon has that attack that allows you to go get 3 cards from your deck and really just set everything up, but oh, okay. We're really busting out some hard guns here. This guy's going to be a challenge. I'm excited. This is probably going to be a really interesting battle. I don't know if we're going to win, though, if I'm being entirely honest. We could, but it is not going to be easy. Alright, so like I was saying earlier, we're going to do Pokemon Fan Club. We're going to go get some Eevees. We're going to go get this Eevee and this Eevee. I don't have any specific reason for those two, other than I just want them on the bench. So we'll bench them. What are we having to deal with this involving this NT? Rally back. If any Pokemon are KO'd, it does not any more damage, so I don't have to worry about that. It's the Fire Minion that we have to worry about. I think we could probably knock it out before that's an issue, but we will see. We can definitely heavy hit with the Umbreon next turn, so let's just get the energy to gear up for that, and then while we're at it, let's just go get a Fairy and a Psychic Energy. And apparently not in that order. I don't want to play the Hard Charm yet because I don't know what Pokemon we're going to be investing that into. But I do know I don't want to give our opponent hints, so we'll put the double energy that on this Eevee that we would be using for it anyway. Let's see. Yeah, there's no point in using the GX attack. We were just going to pass. Yes, I am certain I do not want to attack. So let's take a look at these bench Pokemon. Mega, Lopunny, and Jigglypuff. Jumping Balloon, 16 more damage for each of your opponent's GX and EX in play. That's not good for us because that's literally all we run. So if we can figure out a way to force that thing to get knocked out ASAP, that'll be good for us. Winging it next turn, you can use that attack. We can't force it to switch yet. This'll be rough. But I believe Umbreon's attack allows us to get some damage in on it, so in theory, well, let's play our trainer for turn. Oh, look at that. With Sandry, so we can go ahead and force it, and we have a switch in hand as well, so we can go ahead and set up our ideal matchup when we're ready for it. which I think is probably going to be Espion, since she can do additional damage based off of the amount of... Oh, we might be able to use Dark Claw too. So, yeah. They're not going to invest into the Entei, so I think we can probably take advantage of that fact and kind of more or less just take advantage of it. So what I think I'm going to do is, just because I want to get this knocked out before it's enough of a threat for me to worry about it, is I am going to... Hey, look, a Sylveon. We're going to load this one up into an Espion. We're going to go get a cool Espion that's green for some reason. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and bring him up front. And then I will use the GX ability, because that's a serious threat and we don't want to have to deal with it. So we're going to knock it down a little bit. And then I think next turn, they are probably going to use that GX ability on us, which I believe makes us fall asleep. Yeah. That's all it's going to do, because they're not going to be able to load up enough energy to make it more consistent. Oh, they didn't do that. Okay. Huh. Alright, well, let's put this down on the field. Espion, you're definitely next up to the plate, so we need to get you ready. We'll put some more energy on you. The more damage I do to it, the better. So right now I can do an additional 90 points of damage. That brings it up to 120. If I play Professor Kukri, that's going to be an additional 110 points of damage, bringing it up to 140. And Espion or Sylveon could knock it out next turn, so that's what we're going to do. So Kukri boosts our attack. Use Shadow Bullet. We'll do the extra 30 to the Entei, since, you know, once we get it closer to knocking it out. And then the follow-up attack is going to be pretty devastating, and we might lose our Umbreon in the process, which I'm not looking forward to. But overall, I think we're in the clearing to just take advantage of this entire situation. It's time to see what they're going to do. They knocked it out. Okay. That sucks, but we are going to follow up by knocking out their Pokemon. And then we need to start getting ready for that Braxian and Charizard. And let's see here. I don't really want to draw this turn. I don't have anything else that's worth doing. So we're going to do Psychic, which will knock it out. And see, this is why preparing ahead of time and really figuring out exactly what you want to do and in what order you want to do it is super important. Okay, so this one, I have one, so I know that it's got 2 more turns before I can do that attack. But that attack will be devastating, and it's going to put them ahead a lot. But that first attack, on the other hand, that's a doozy. However, I did just issue 2 special conditions, and we have a switch in our hand, so worse things, better people. Problem is next turn he can attack our Sylveon and be pretty... Oh, you know what? We have 2 copies of Switch, so what we're going to do is we're going to switch to the Eevee. Switch right back to Espion, which is about the most convoluted way I could think of doing that. Then we're going to start loading up our Sylveon. We'll put our other hard charm on this dude here. And then we got to think about how this is going to play out. So, 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to our opponent's active Pokemon. They probably will only be able to do 160 because of the hard charm that they're going to do to us, which means we probably have a second attack. Nonetheless, I want to get as much damage in as possible, so we will play another Professor Kukri. And we're going to do, I believe, about 150. 170? 170, that's good. That's good. That means that if somehow the Espion does get knocked out, we can follow up with the Sylveon and just straight up win on the spot. Because that Pokemon will be able to do, when we knock out that tag team, that's going to give us 3 prizes. So, no matter how this pans out, I believe we're about to win. Crimson Pillar GX. So yeah, we're about to take, I'm pretty sure, only 160 points of damage. They're going to draw 3 cards, but we're going to win on the swing back. Is it draw 3 cards, or is it get 3 energy? It's get 3 energy, apparently. Interesting. Well, we just got to switch, so we will go ahead and load up Espion and switch, and Espion comes up. We use the Fairy Wind to finish the game. And that's it. This is by far my favorite Pokemon deck. I literally put it together because of the angsty looks of these 3 Eevees, and it is by far my most functional and efficient deck with the highest win rate. It's awesome. I love it. We're gonna play some more. Oh my goodness, that was a little too easy. I expected that to be a lot harder, but I mean, that's what happens when you evaluate your threats and you prioritize. You know, you make the game very straightforward and really easy to beat. I'm going to say heads. I won. I'm going second. Okay, so no basics. Not a good start. It's funny because no basics isn't inherently a bad thing in MTG because they're talking about basic lands, but no basics in Pokemon is very bad. At least in the opening hand wise. Setting a play. I wish it was possible to zoom into the box so I could figure out a little bit more about what it is they have. Okay. Ooh, I don't like this starting hand at all. We will put this Eevee up front because at the very least they can hold the fort until we... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I had the Pokemon Communication in hand. I should not have put that Cubone on the bench. Or... I should have put the Cubone active and kept the Eevee in hand, and then I could have swapped the Eevee out for a different Eevee, and then I could have energized it with the Sylveon, and on the following turn, with the Fairy, and get the Sylveon, and on the following turn, switch and start it off with Sylveon like I like to do. Oh boy. Alright, well, the bed is made, and now we're gonna roll around in it. This will be rough. Possibly. So, Cosmog, huh? All it does is switches with your opponent's benched Pokemon. I can't say that's the most interesting thing I've ever seen. What do we got here? Mounts Cornets once per turn. That player may put 2 Steel Energy cards from their discard pile into their hand. I have another deck I want to work on where that might actually be relevant, so it's kind of cool. Oh, yeah, I really shot myself in the foot by not thinking of my first play, so all I can really do is energize. I'll go get a Dark and a Psychic just in case, because at this point it's all going to depend on which Eevee I draw first. Luckily, they all have the same cost, which is one of their specific type, and 2 colorless. So no matter what I load it up with, we should be fine. Ideally, though, I still do want a Sylveon because then I can load the bases for a better game. If we get really lucky, we might be able to knock out this Cosmog long before they have a chance to do anything. Okay, it's no longer a Cosmog. It is now a Cosmoem. You know, of all the newer Pokemon, this one's pretty cool. He's played a trainer. I didn't see what those were. I think this was one of them. Oh, cool. Balian. Oh, that's dope. I'm gonna get one of these. I like it. That symbol, that battle symbol ability basically means if it has steel energy attached, if any of your Pokemon have steel energy attached to it, they don't take special conditions. And then if there's a stadium in play, this card does 110 as opposed to just 50 damage. The GX is... it stops your opponent from attacking. So that's actually a really good setup card. That's freaking unbelievable. Wow. Big ups. Okay, but we are going to give it a special condition while it's possible. So we're going to turn this Eevee into a Sylveon, and apparently my cool Sylveon is on the prize pile because I wasn't allowed to go get it. And we are going to use this cool Eevee to confuse our opponent's Pokemon while it is still possible. They don't seem to have any interesting follow-up options here. What is that? It is yellow. Celigo. I have a Celigo... no, I have a Celigo partner. Okay, apparently Cosmog turns into a giant lion. Apparently that giant lion kills my Espion. I think we're going to lose. Yeah, I think my misplay early on kept me from being able to mount a proper offensive, and I'm pretty sure we're about to lose. Yikes. But let's see if we can't weasel our way out of it. Ultimately, we're going to need some kind of Eevee to win. So I'm pretty sure I'm about to throw Cubone up there to stall for time while I try to figure out exactly what I can possibly do to not die. Why is all of that energy gone? Oh, Sunsteel Strike, it discards all energy. Okay. It's another one of those where doing damage comes at the cost of... oh, hold up. Let's see, what does this do? Huh. Okay, you know what? We are going to try putting this GX Eevee to the test, because theoretically we could damage the Celigo significantly before it has a chance to re-energize. And even if it doesn't, the other Pokemon that they have is not prepared for combat. So. Median, what does that do? Oh, okay. You get to take one of your prize cards and swap it for a Median. That's interesting. I don't know if that's actually useful, but that's interesting. Necrozma. It's another one of those weird Pokemon. You know, I was actually looking at some of the new Pokemon that are out, and I gotta say, They are starting to look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Oh, goodness. Ouch. That looks like it's going to hurt us later. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't know what to do. Your ability doesn't do anything for me. If I get 3 cards back from the graveyard, what can I get that's actually useful? Eevee, Espion, and... nothing. I've got to play it out. It's really desperate, but this is what I'm going to have to do. EVS win and switch. How did they get the steal? Oh, Soul Burst from Sligo. Oh, Solgaleo. Solgaleo. I don't know where the guy comes from, but Soul means sun and Leo means lion. Pretty sure most people know that. Yeah. Beat down on the EVEX. I gotta be honest, I don't think I have a chance here. Alright. Oh, I don't know what to do. The only thing I could feasibly play for sure right now is an Umbreon. So I could force the hand with that. I could go get another Eevee. Since these all trigger evolution based off of energy. Okay. So that's something. And we'll shuffle in the other Sylveon as well. We'll get another Eevee. This doesn't give us any solutions, though. That's the problem. If we put Umbreon in front, at least we're doing some damage, and that's relevant. I don't know what we're doing here. What was that? Well, whatever it is, we lose. Alright, well... yeah, I'll stick with the formula and only do 2 battles of this particular game, but... yeah, that last one was... oh, if I had just paid closer attention to what was in my opening hand, I would have had the combat trick necessary to get a good early start. I might have even been able to win before they had a chance to put a second bench Pokemon down, but that's what you get. So for now, thank you and have fun.